I got shims for the crankshaft pulley to bring that out. If you've been watching, I had to shim the water pump 1/8 of an inch to clear the timing chain cover, and then I didn't press this all the way on. It's a very tight fit. I'm going to take the pulley off of the water pump just so I don't drop it. But the shims that I got, there's 3 different sizes in it. Doesn't even tell you what size they are, so I'm going to have to measure them, and I have a micrometer to do that with. But before I get that, I'm going to have to get a knife to cut this open. So I'm just going to take the pulley off and the belt will come off. I'm not going to put the belt back on, because one of the things that you have to do, according to the Borgeson steering box I put on, is flush the system before you start it. So what I'm going to attempt to do is connect all the hoses up except the return to here, fill it with power steering fluid, and turn the pump by itself to send fluid through the pump and the Borgeson unit, and then dump it out before any contaminants would get back to the pump. So once I take that off, I will not be putting the belt on just yet. If you're thinking that the impact wrench is sounding a little weak, it's because it has 4 power settings and I'm on level 1. I'll probably need to at least go to level 2 for the crankshaft bolt, because that was put on to 60 foot-pounds, I believe, so we're going to go to level 2 for that. Oops. Grab that pulley. Set the bolt aside. Grab a shim. Looks to line up with the holes perfectly, and I'm going to start. I better put it on the correct side of the crankshaft pulley. Okay. Got to turn this wrench back to 1. And then put it on with a torque wrench. That's the crankshaft bolt. And I'm not going to hit these bolts very hard at all. Just running them in. I'll put them on with a hand ratchet so I can feel what's going on there. So I can see compared to this pulley that it's moved it out. Let me get the torque specs for that and torque that on. So 60 foot-pounds is the correct spec for the harmonic balancer. Want to turn the engine. There we go. That's good. And I'm just gonna, because I have it in my hand, I'm gonna do the other bolts with the torque wrench, but I am not torquing them to 60 foot-pounds. I'm just using it as a wrench. So now when I put the water pump pulley on, it lines up nicely with the crank. It's definitely within a hair. So I'm going to take that off till I can bolt it on, because I'm going to be moving the engine and it'll fall off. So that should be it for that. This lines up pretty good. I might pull it out just a hair. Maybe I could put a lock washer behind that instead. To move that out of here instead of playing with the pulley. I'll check it with a straight edge and see what I have to do. So I'm checking this with a straight edge, which I'm not going to show because I showed you what I did last time. This looks good. I'm not going to move it any further. I will eventually put a bolt in here just as a safety precaution to make sure this doesn't come off. I doubt that with as much trouble as I had to get it on as far as I did, that it's going to be a problem falling off. That's for sure. Okay, the last thing for aligning the pulleys is the alternator is going to bolt onto the head here. And I'll use shims behind that bracket 1/8 of an inch, and that'll bring it out to match the water pump. And I don't have any clearance issues with the front of it because I'm going to electric fans, so and even if I didn't, I don't think the fan would be an issue anyway. But there's one other spot that is going to be an issue. Let me zoom in on it. And I'll go over and point it out. You see that bolt? It's got a box sitting on the chassis behind it. But you can see that bolt. That's for the air conditioning bracket for the vintage air. There's a gap right here. So what I'm probably going to have to do, but I'm not going to do it till I put the headers on, is elongate these holes that bolt into the header holes so that I can move that bracket forward 1/8 of an inch, because I can't just shim behind it because the air conditioner bolts in here. So if I don't bring that whole bracket up 1/8 of an inch, it's not going to line up. So I'll be using a die grinder, which I bought for this project, and after watching a couple of videos of people using one on YouTube to elongate holes, I wish I'd have bought one 20 years ago, because there have been many times when I needed to elongate a hole and I didn't have the proper stuff for it. It's impossible to do with a drill bit because it catches on the edge. If you just need, you're going to run into the other hole cut off, and the drill bit will catch and snap. So the die grinder is the way to go for that, and I wish I had bought it many years ago for the number of times that I've had to just move a hole a hair because I missed or bolting something new on and it didn't quite line up. But an upcoming video will have that. But for now, that's it for the alignment of the pulleys until I get it in the engine or in the chassis and start putting on the alternator and the air conditioner. Thanks for watching.